Here are 3 brutal truths of the universe that literally will piss people off. So without further ado, let's begin. The first one is that most people love complaining about their problems and excuses more than they actually want them fixed. No, legit. I will tell you a story right now. I had a relative who wanted to be a sole proprietorship, whatever, fancy big words, basically a solo business. So a one person business. And they were complaining how they don't know how the taxation works on this, and so they can't really start the business, but they would like to have a business on the side, And then I'm just like, I heard the problem, and I'm like, well, I've taken business studies and so on, so I'm just gonna tell them how it works. I'm gonna tell the taxation. I'm gonna fix their problem. They lack information. I'm gonna give them the information that they lack. And all of a sudden they should be happy, right? They should be amazed, like, wow, thank you so much. Now I can finally start and improve my situation. But when I told them how the taxation works, then they got mad. They got pissed off because I took away their excuse of not doing it. And that's the thing. Most people will literally get mad at you if you fix their problems, because then they don't have any more excuses to not do the brave thing, to not go out there and do what they said they were going to do. And so, next time someone says these excuses and so on, they probably don't even want them to be fixed, because they love complaining about having an excuse to, not have XYZ, or not be a professional athlete, or to be a painter, or to be whatever, right? Most people love complaining about that excuse more than they actually want it fixed. And let's look at one more example to truly prove that those excuses don't matter at all. And if you're one of those people who are like, well, I got this excuse and that excuse not to be successful, and I got this excuse not to make YouTube videos, and I got that excuse not to be a professional athlete or to even try, and so on. Well, let me tell you, none of those excuses matter, and even you know it. And let's look at one example to really prove this. Let's say you walk into a room. You walk into this room, and in the room there is a bunch of successful people in whatever field you are interested in. So if you're interested in business, there's a lot of successful business people. If you want to be an athlete, then there's a lot of successful athletes, and so on. And you now walk into this room, and let's say everyone knows you, and they start making excuses for you. Oh look, John came here. Yeah, John, you would have been such a good businessman if you didn't have a traumatic childhood. Oh, John, what a fantastic athlete you would have been if you didn't have that rare disease. Like, imagine if everyone started making the excuses for you. Is that actually what you want? Would you feel good about yourself? Of course you wouldn't. And so even if other people make excuses for you, even if they believe them, even if they agree with the excuses that you present them and so on, even then the excuses don't matter, and it doesn't actually make you feel good. And so I have this a bit humoristic saying of, do you want the Lambo or the excuse not to have it? And well, of course, if you answer, I'd rather have the Lambo than the excuse not to have it, then go get it. Throw away the excuse and start working on the Lambo. Yes, it's a bit humoristic, of course it has to be a Lambo, but you get the point. Would you rather want the success or the excuse not to have it? And everyone says success. So why don't you just work on the success and give up on the excuses? Because they truly don't matter. Number 2, people only hate people above them. So if there is someone who is literally below you in every way possible, in every way, it's impossible to hate them. It's literally impossible. I mean, either you have to find something that is above you, or you literally cannot hate someone. Hate can only go up. And so once you realize that, and you start looking at the world, you start realizing why when you start making the correct decisions, people dislike you. So people literally will start hating you more if you quit alcohol, and they'll start saying like, oh, why you not drinking? That's weird. So they will hate you more for quitting alcohol than they will if you get blackout drunk. They will hate you more for starting a diet and improving your health than they will hate you for eating junk food. So when you start making the correct decisions, improving your life and doing all the good things, all of a sudden people will dislike you. And remember, it's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's because you're doing something right. And you are reminding everyone of the decisions they did not make. And so, when you quit alcohol, people will look at you like, oh no, this guy is quitting alcohol. He's not drinking, he's not destroying his health with literal poison. And then they start disliking you because they would want to make that decision, but they're not brave enough or some other reason that's stopping them. Same with when you start going to the gym. They're like, oh, let's see how long you're gonna last, probably gonna quit after 2 weeks. And the reason they say that is because you remind them that they chose to not go to the gym either. They didn't go there, but you did. And that is why they are starting to hate you. Because you are now becoming something that is above them. And that really pisses people off. And so the next time somebody hates you, just know that you're better than them. That's the only reason they can hate you, is because you are better than them. So actually when people hate you, it's a good thing, because it shows that you're pretty damn good. Because it means that there's a lot of people that are below you. And let's look at another example to really drive this home. Let's say you're walking outside, and let's say a person walks past you, and it's a fat guy walking without a shirt. A fat guy. What is you thinking? It's probably funny. Oh, funny, haha, look at this fat dude without a shirt, haha. It's funny. But let's say now you keep walking and then a ripped dude, a guy is walking without a shirt and he's ripped. He's clearly been in the gym for years, he's shredded. Single percent body fat, whatever. All of a sudden you're like, oh, what a douchebag. It's like, why? Like nothing changed. The dude didn't say anything, they didn't do anything to make them a douchebag, but you call them a douchebag, maybe not out loud, but you think about it, because they're in better shape than you. So when someone is worse looking than you, like a fat guy, it's funny if they're not without a shirt, or if they are without a shirt. But if someone is better looking, once again, they're above you, all of a sudden, instead of it being funny, you start hating. Oh, what a douchebag, put a shirt on, whatever. Because they're better looking. Once again, hate only goes up. And so this is a great way to just look at the world and just know that in all these situations, just think to yourself, when people start hating something, just think to yourself, why is that? What is the factor in life that they are below the other guy so that now they're hating them? And it could be something as simple as life satisfaction. People are like, oh, I really dislike that guy. Why is he so happy all the time? And it's like, okay, so this guy is happier, meaning their life satisfaction is at a higher level, and that's why they're hating them. But hate only goes up. And that's what people don't want to admit, because then they would have to admit that the people that they hate are better than them. But that is simply true. The third thing that really pisses people off is that you lose nothing by trying. So many people, like we talked about excuses and so on, they feel like they'll lose something by trying. If I start the business, I'll lose something. What will my parents think? Or what will that person think? Or what will that person think? But no one's opinion matters, except one's own. And so that's another thing. When you tell people your opinion doesn't matter at all, they get pissed off. And for a good reason, I guess. You know, you literally told them that their opinion does not matter, and humans want to be heard, and they want their opinion to matter, so they're gonna get pissed off when you tell them the truth, and it doesn't matter. But you lose nothing by trying. But people have so many like expectations. You know, if I go and I fail, then everyone will look at me this way, or everyone will look at me and, you know, there's some shame or fear or something like that. And then the anxiety comes of what if I fail, and then they never even try. But the truth is, you literally lose nothing by trying. It's impossible. Because here's the thing. Even if the worst thing happens, the worst thing that you're super afraid of happens, and then there's all the fear and anxiety and shame and whatever the things that you're afraid of. Even if all of that happens, the reality is no one probably cares. You start a business and it fails, no one probably cares. You go ask out a woman and they say no, no one probably fucking cares. Even the woman will probably forget it in 2 weeks because they get approached by 5 other dudes, you know? Like, nobody cares. And the funny thing is, even if they do care, even if they do remember, so what? You literally just live in their head, rent-free, but it doesn't affect you in any way. Why should you care? And so the moment you realize that the opinions of these other people don't even matter, so first of all, they probably don't care, and even if they do care, it doesn't matter. And the best part is that when you stop caring, the pain goes away, the fear goes away, the shame goes away, the anxiety goes away. All of these things disappear once you stop caring about the opinions of others, and you just live. And you know, you've probably seen some of those people every now and then where it's like you go and they do something and you're like, how can you do that? I would be so embarrassed. And then they just continue their life as normal. And you know what? Nothing bad actually happened because they moved on. Shame is only real if you believe it. And so if you don't think that you did anything wrong, if you don't feel shame, then no one can shame you. And that's another like amazing trick that you just have to learn. That if you just move on, no one can do anything. Like you think, oh, but other people can laugh at me if I, you know, fail. You know, I went and tried to, you know, make a goal on the football field, and you know, then I failed, and now everyone's gonna laugh at me how I'm such a failure or something. Like, first of all, no one probably even cares if you missed the penalty or whatever. And second of all, as long as you don't care, like, they're gonna get bored of laughing at you in about 2 seconds because you're not impacted. So the moment you don't believe in the shame anymore, it disappears and no one can shame you anymore. No one can laugh at you because you're just like immune to it. And so that's another thing that people really get pissed off at, when you tell them that their opinions don't matter. And the funny thing is that you lose nothing by trying, because even if other people care what you did, their opinions don't matter. And so those were the 3 things and the brutal truths of the universe that literally piss people off. When you tell them that their excuses literally don't matter, and they probably agree if you tell them a few examples. 2, that if you hate someone, it means that they're above you, at least in some respect. And 3, that the opinions of other people really don't fucking matter. They just don't. So stop caring. And so, as always, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.